how to create a toothpaste brushstroke, something like this. I'm going to use Procedural Textures, and that's in Infinity Photo. You need something to work with, so I'm just going to create a circle. So ellipse tool, click the document and hold down the shift to create a circle. I've got it filled with black. Go to Filters and Colours and Procedural Texture. You could create the equation yourself, perfectly reasonable, but there's some presets. So click there and go down to the Waves preset. You should have it. If you haven't, you probably deleted it. But Waves preset. So with that, you can modify this, the wave setting. You can see up and down like that. But you can also select this, copy it, just Control-C, standard Control-C, and then you can paste it. Just click here to add 2 additional entries. I'm going to paste exactly the same into post. So I've got that. Now at this point, it doesn't actually look anything like the previous one because it's using alpha. Now I don't want that, so I'm just going to deselect that. I'm also going to deselect the B and the G. So I'm just going to go down there and R, G and B. And that's the channels it's going to be using. They're exactly the same at the moment. Now I'm not going to create exactly this design. You can see what you need to do. Just say 2.5. You can modify it. Don't have to go with that. You can 1.2. And you can see straight away you've modified it slightly. This is slightly different from the previous one. But the key change will be here. So instead of 180, go for 56. And you can see now what you get is that. Or maybe 100. So you can just change it, just tweak it. Now, you don't have to change any others if you don't want to. But you can if you want. If you want some green to come into it, let's go for 140. And you can see all yellow. So you've got yellow there, orange. I'm going to go with that. I could tweak it a lot more. And I could also vary this. You can see that varies as well. Click Apply. So you've got your design. I need to save it to the Brushes panel. It's a pixel layer. It's a standard pixel layer. You can see here in Layers, Pixel. And that's what it needs to be. So Brushes panel, which you can find in the View menu, Studio and Brushes. And I'm just going to save it there. So just go to right side. Now I've got a category already set up. There's loads of categories. Procedural Texture. If you want to, just simply go to here to create a new category. And then you can just rename it and call it Procedural Texture. But you can go down to the bottom on this right side menu and New Brush from Selection. And that will save what's currently selected. And that's that design. So New Brush from Selection, and you can see it applied there. Now I can keep that one. I can just right click and I can duplicate. So instead of just creating and modifying that one, I can now duplicate. So duplicate brush. So I've got 2 exactly the same, but this one I'm going to change. So double click. And now you can tweak this. General section, go to the general section, and you can modify the spacing. So if you push the spacing down to 1%, that's the lowest it can go. It's a pity it can't go to 0.2. Sometimes I think, oh, it'd be better if it could. You can also modify the rotation. You see, rotate that. You can also modify the size. Personally, I always like it to be a bit smaller than the design that I created there. So put it down to about 300. So this is all I want to do on this panel. You can go to Dynamics and you can change the size jitter. So just put that to 100 and set to pressure. Rotation jitter. Now, if you have that as random, you can see that's random there. You can see it just randomly rotates everything, which is fine. If that's what you want, it's your design. But you can simply go here and you can change it to pressure. Simply, there's a load of them. Angle, tilt. If you want to, if you've got an art pad and pen, you might have features that use those. So I'm going with pressure. And you can see the trouble with that 1%. It'd be nice if it was even lower for spacing. There's a bit of a gap. And you can also, if you wish, modify hue jitter. But again, if you've got that as random, you can see what happens. It becomes red, green, blue, etc. What you can do, set it to pressure. And you can see then, as you change it, the pressure, it will change colour. Maybe not in the way that you want, but that's what you got there with the pressure. You can tweak it a bit more. You can simply click here and you can modify this profile and that will change it. So if you click there and just change it, you can see it does that. It will change the colours you generate. So that's another possibility. And once you're happy with your brush, click close. I'm just going to move that one out of the way. And I'm going to create another layer because I don't want to apply it on that layer because it will blend with that layer. So layer and new layer. And then go to the paintbrush tool. Make certain you select that one because if you've got that one selected, it will use the one at the top. So now it will use this one. And now simply just apply it. And you can see as you do that, it will just resize, also recolor, big, small. And of course you can apply it multiple times. Just drag it around like toothpaste. Now it would be an unusual toothpaste. I know that it would be like that. But you can create all kinds of different designs. So you make it a bit smoother. But you can also, if you create some sort of random design, you think, oh, that looks great. It is a layer. It's a standard layer. So you've got this design here. And of course you could use it to create thousands and thousands of brush strokes. You can resize it. You can also, because it's a pixel layer, you can go to the brushes panel here and right side again, new brush from selection. That's the selection. So new brush from selection and you can see your design there. Now you can keep it. Let's just move it over there. And again, layer and new layer. So I'm applying it to a new layer. Now you might want to modify this. You might want to go with that. Perfectly reasonable. So general selection. And you can see you can just change that like that. Or just make it a nice continuous design. Again, rotation, dynamics, and you can do exactly the same as before. So hue, you can see again all the different colours. Again, pressure. So you've got a nice flow between all the colours there. Rotation jitter, again, you could keep it random. That's the result, perfectly reasonable. But you can set it to pressure and you can see you get this lovely twisting design. And also, again, size jitter. Again, you can see it'd be great if the spacing was a bit smaller. Don't know why they set it to 1%. Click close. And again, go there and you can see the brush. Now it's quite big. I should have reduced the size down. You can always go to it and reduce the size. And then just simply add it like that. And again, you've got this design. It's on a layer. You could use that. That design can be used again. Just save it, new brush from selection. So you can build up quite a complex, lovely, beautiful coloured design like this. Use it as brushes. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you much.